Chairwoman Waters and Ranking Member McHenry for holding this annual hearing, and I think it's important that we conduct oversight of the nation's largest banks, particularly in this climate where many are bending to progressive activists and declining to provide access to financial services for legally operating businesses. Mr. Diamond, you previously testified before the committee in May 2021 that there are certain areas where you have, quote, cut back, unquote, because, quote, the risk, legal or regulatory, is too high to do business, close quote. I have become aware of bank denial letters that J.P. Morgan and, for the record, others of the banks here today have sent to independent ATM operators, where J.P. Morgan states that they have a policy in place where the bank does not bank private ATM operators. And Madam Chair, for the record, I would like to enter into the record an article from the Wall Street Journal from February 19th of this year that's entitled "Gas Station ATMs Are a Banking Battleground." The subtitle, "Banks Worried About the Risk Are Turning Away the Owners of Independent ATMs, a Lifeline to the Underbanked."
Without objection, such is the order.
Thank you very much. A previous iteration of the Federal Financial Institution Examination Council's Bank Secrecy Act manual categorized the entire independent ATM industry as high risk. The new version, released in December 2021 after the hastening of many members on a bipartisan nature of this committee, now states that, quote, not all independent ATM owner or operator customers pose the same risk, and not all independent ATM owner or operator customers are automatically higher risk, close quote. Additionally, as hopefully you're all aware, on July 6, all of the FFIEC agencies issued a statement saying that independent ATM operators are not categorically high risk. And again, Madam Chair, I'd like to enter a copy of that release statement for the record.
Without objection, such is the order.
So, Mr. Diamond, why is the bank still categorically denying access to financial services for an entire legally operating industry?
I don't like it when I hear that we're doing the whole industry, because I think that's a mistake. You should evaluate each customer one by one and determine when the risk is high. I don't know if that's true, and I have to get back to you on it. I do know there's one large one we stopped banking.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, and I guess my next follow-up question was, would you commit to taking a look at the bank's policy with respect to this class of customers?
Of course.
Thank you. And save time, but for the record, I would appreciate if the rest of you would also respond to the question of whether you'll take a fresh look in light of this new guidance at whatever policies you have in place with respect to this class of customers. Would you all commit to giving us a review of your policies on that? Very good. And so I'm concerned about this issue in a broader context, which is other places where your banks are not banking legally operating businesses. So it is an area of heightened concern. So I hope you all will be mindful of that, how important that is, and particularly when you're serving customers that are lifelines to financial services for the underbanked. So thank you for that commitment. Mr. Moynihan, I want to shift for a moment. In 2019 at Fortune's inaugural Brainstorm Finance Conference, you said that you want a cashless society and that Bank of America has more to gain than anybody if we were to eliminate cash as a payment option. Mr. Moynihan, this may be difficult for you to empathize with, but I can assure you in my district that not everyone has access to financial services. I bet you have a bank account. I do as well, and can readily access funds to pay for goods and services, but not everyone has that luxury. If you eliminate cash and cash options to pay for food and other necessities, you end up making it more difficult to survive for our most vulnerable populations. So I'm wondering if you and Bank of America, why do you think it is okay to make it more difficult to be poor? What would you tell someone who gets their pay in cash and who walks into a grocery store that does not accept cash under your ideal society?
Sir, I think a couple things. One is, between today and tomorrow at this time, $200 million will go out of the ATMs at our company in cash. The idea of eliminating cash is when people don't need to use cash, and it's safer and more secure, and we have multiple means to do it. Anybody can get a bank account at Bank of America if they have proper identification for $5 a month. It allows them to get cash out of the ATMs, to go in any branch, do anything you or I could do there. So I think the context of that was how do we save money in the industry for people like yourself or companies in terms of moving cash and accepting the cash.
Thank you. I yield back, Madam Chair.
The gentleman